Hi folks, we're back after a long hiatus. I haven't been out hunting too much because there really aren't that many sites to go to, unfortunately, right now. They're all in crops and they're just not accessible. And I found out this year that trying to metal detect in bean chaff, wheat chaff is really difficult. So anyways, we're back at a site that I've been to a few times, Button site. If you look around, you'll see we're standing in a cornfield. So I've got a little head on my machine here, I don't know if you can see it. A small head, a small coil, sorry. Yeah, the rows are about 30 inches apart. So we'll try it out here first. And if we don't have any luck, I got a couple more places in mind, but hopefully we'll find something. So be patient. Okay, I was just about ready to leave this field because it's thick with spiders and it's really hot and I'm having a really difficult time. And I just got a really good signal. I think it's silver. You can see the edge of it right there, right along there. That to me looks like silver. I am going to have to hold on for a second because I want to Instagram that. But I'm pretty sure that we just found a silver coin. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, I needed this really badly. You running? Yes, you are. All right, let's open up this. Let's open up this pump here and see what we got. That is a silver coin, though. That beeping is my pinpointer. I think it's a dime. It's like a dime, doesn't it? Yeah, that's a dime. That's going to be a dime. A nice silver, very worn dime. What is it though? Did I scratch it? Nope. No, I didn't. Ooh, it's worn. That is worn. Hold on for a second. I have to put it in my mouth and figure out what's on there. It's better than rubbing it. Because it's like putting water on it. It's just dirt anyways. And it is. What is that? Jeez. I did scratch it a little tiny bit. It's worn, man. It is a worn dime. And I don't have my glasses or anything out here, so we'll have to. I didn't scratch it though, actually, no, because it was somebody else must have scratched it. Maybe the cultivator. But that's cool. We'll figure out what it is when we get back. So I'm pretty sure that I just dug a silver Spanish real. It's really worn. Really quite worn. Excuse the state of my hands. But and that scratch mark there, I didn't do that because I pulled that right out of that clump. But it looks like it's got some sort of a shield or something on that side. And then on this side here, there is definitely I don't know if you can see it, but there is a right-facing man's head. There's a gouge right there. But his nose is there, and there's his forehead. And I think maybe it's a French coin, but I think it's a Spanish real. Yeah, it's gotta be, man. Yeah, it is, I'm sure of it. Maybe a half real. Can you see his face? Look at that, man. This is gonna be, oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. It's been really friggin' hard detecting lately. But when you find something like this, it makes it worth it. This is awesome. I'm gonna go through the rest of this field. Right there. That's what I'm talking about. Big giant orb weaver spider. I almost walked right into that bad boy. He's not very big. But there's some huge ones out here. One of the many hassles of metal detecting in a cornfield. Got another signal down here. I don't know what it is. Like a button, maybe. It's down. What's that? That is a... Well, it's a... I don't know what the hell that is. Chewed up piece of lead. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I thought it was something. But it wasn't. It was just a chewed up piece of lead. I think pigs used to actually chew up musket balls every time they found pieces of lead. Sometimes you find musket balls and they have chew marks all through them, and I read somewhere that oftentimes pigs would find them, and if there was something in the lead they liked, then they would chew them. Interesting. Oh. Okay, so I just found what I think is a Spanish real in this field, and I just got another really awesome signal, and I dug down very gingerly, and if you can see it right there, that is the edge of a coin, and it looks big. It looks like it could be a very large coin. Maybe it's a quarter. Let's extract this very carefully. Look at that. What is that? What is that? Did you see that? It says, hey, that's a Canadian one. Look at that. And I didn't screw that. Oh, there's Queen Victoria on it. That cultivator thing went through here. Look at that. It nicked it there, and it nicked it there too. But that's Queen Victoria. That's a silver quarter. Oh my God. 2 silvers in one day. Unbelievable. I'll have to put this one in my mouth to keep the other guy company. Awesome feel. So there's that silver quarter that I just dug up. You can see the real shiny spots where the cultivator unfortunately nicked it really well. It wasn't me. I was very careful. But you know what? This is not a quarter. This is a shilling. It's 1 shilling, and the date on it is 1844. So it's a silver shilling. Isn't that something? 2 coins today that I have never ever found before, and never did not expect to find a shilling or a real out in this field. Unbelievable. This is a lucky day for me. And I guess I have to thank those spiders, because they kind of led me to these spots. I was deking their webs in the corn rows here because I don't like spiders. But if I hadn't deked them, I wouldn't have found these coins. So thanks, guys. So I just walked about 12 or 13 steps from where I found the shilling. Got another signal, sounded like another silver coin, and I stuck the shovel in and I popped out that right there. Look at that. Right straight on there. Big old copper. I don't know what it is. But he's still in the clump. That's pretty cool, eh? Look at that. Look at that. I wonder what it is. It's probably a... I suspect it's a Canadian large cent just by the looks of it. But who knows? Look at the green stuck in there, eh? The green... That is so cool. Stuck in the dirt for all that time. Yeah, I don't know what that is. But I suspect it's a Canadian large cent. Although I don't know. Could be anything in this field. I'm finding all sorts of strange coins today. I'll let you know. Some serious crop damage here. Look at this. Right out in the middle of a cornfield, which moments ago was like walking through a jungle. And look at that, eh? I don't know if that's deer or if that'd be raccoons. But whatever it is, they're just tearing everything down and eating it. Well, that's where I was, in the jungle. And I think I'm going to call her a day now. This is a really lovely sight. It's hard to see, but in the ravine here, and up in here too, are some old apple trees. And there is a type of apple around here that tastes like cotton candy. But I don't remember where that tree was. I've been coming around this area since I was a little kid. And I think a lot of these apple trees are heirloom varieties that you just don't get anymore. That might be it there. They're really old apple trees, and their apples are just delicious. Let's see here. Maybe that's a good one, huh? There's a snail on it, but I can kick him off. Well, that was not it. Oh, oh God. Oh, that was, they weren't ripe. I think the good apples might be over on the other side of the ravine. I'm not sure. Whew. But it was a good day. I found these three guys. You can see them there. I don't know what that big copper is yet. I think that's a real, but you know, that could be a French coin too. And then a shilling. Out in the middle of the cornfield. Hardly anybody even knows that there was a house there. I found that house site when I was a kid. I thought it was a pioneer dump. Oh well, we'll get back to the homestead and we'll clean these coins up and take a look and see what we got. Hi everyone, here we are back in the cornfield. Back at the site I was at just last weekend, and what I've decided to do is go in the opposite direction that I went last time through the cornfields, and it seems to have paid off. Ow! Don't mind my hand, it's just a little bit of eczema. But I just dug this coin right here, and I had already been through this spot. I don't know what it is. It's an old one. It's an old copper. I'm guessing it's maybe a British one. I found the coins last week. I finally figured out what they were. I'll tell you at the end of the wrap up here, but that looks like an old copper to me. Anyways, I found it right here, and I'd already been through this spot, except this time I was going this way. When I was in here last time, I was going this way, and I missed the signal. So it's always a good idea to go back and forth. And I'm going to do a roundup and show you the last 2 weeks worth of finds. Pretty good couple of weeks. Haven't been able to get out too much. Been having some problems with my hands, but that seems to be on the mend. And when I'm done shooting this video, I'm going to head right back out in the fields and see what I can find. So some of this stuff I would have videoed yesterday, except I kind of stopped by one of my spots, and there had been some earth moved around, and I jumped out and I started finding stuff faster than I could film. But so I didn't actually film it, unfortunately, because it was a good hunt. I found this really awesome old padlock. It's still got the lock plate. It seems to have become rusted and then broken, separated. But the reason I found it, I was picking this thing up. I was getting this weird mixed signal with iron, and I decided to dig it. And when they dug the trench, they pulled this thing up right out of the ground. That's pretty cool. I found a few, but I don't think I've ever found one that old before. This is the lid off of some sort of a perfume bottle or something. There's still a little tiny bit of glass stuck in there. And on the side of it, it seems to be a guy sitting, and somebody else sort of bowing before them, presenting them with something. I don't know what it is. I found this cool little iron blade, hand forged. I don't know what it's from, but it's quite old. It's got a nice edge on it. Some sort of a tool for something. This stuff here is a bottle of Crucian, which is some sort of a, from the late 1800s, early 1900s, some sort of stomach bitters or something that was helped in digestion or something like that. Unfortunately, got hit by the cultivator and smashed a little tiny bit, which is too bad because I was in the field right after the guy was cultivating it, and I'm pretty sure that's a recent break. When I went to the old place where they had dug the hole, I found this, which is a clamshell, not that interesting in and of itself, except that this thing is miles away from any sort of lake or pond or river or anything like that. And I think that they were probably eating shellfish back in the mid-1800s. It's kind of cool to think that I would assume this is like a saltwater clamshell. So they were bringing them from far afield and feeding them to the people. Nice little clay pipe, broken, but that was sitting right on the surface. There's a piece of it there. I won't bother you with everything I found. This is neat. I don't know if this is a vest buckle or a knee buckle. The tongue still moves on it, which is pretty cool. And that was brought up by the backhoe. It was just underneath the surface of the ground. This is a little slide, goes over a horse harness buckle. Keeps the weather out of it. Probably in the wintertime, it's easy to get it undone so it doesn't get all iced up or covered in mud if it's, if they're out in a muddy field. I don't know. This is neat too. I haven't figured out the crown yet, but it's a Royal Naval button. It's not a Queen's crown. I guess it's a King's crown. The back of it is rotted away, and it's all there. It's just folded over. Again, I'm sorry about my fingers. Try not to look at them. Found this cool little star, little gilded little star. No idea what that's off of. This is awesome. Yesterday was the 4th, and I dug this 1904 Indian head penny in really, really good condition. Just think that thing was made 4 years before World War I. And it must have been dropped fairly soon after minting because it's in really nice shape. A few other things. This is neat too. Very old flat button with the shank intact. Found that at the old colonial site where they dug a trench through the house foundation. And that was, again, just right up close to the surface. And the area where I found a lot of this stuff, I've been over a ton of times and never even got any signals. So you never know what's buried down deep. Now this is interesting. This is, I believe this is a 1837 Ansu, or a bouquet scent from Lower Canada, with a perfect little square nail hole through the middle. If you look really, oh, there goes a turkey vulture flying down the creek. You can sort of see right in through here, like right above my scabby finger, a bit of the bouquet. I think it's a bouquet scent. Maybe it's an American large scent. It's too flattened and corroded to tell for sure, but I really like that little square hole in it. It's been repurposed. This is an 1832 John Walker & Co., province of Upper Canada, halfpenny token. We've got, there's Britannia sitting there on the one side of it. It got struck by the cultivator a little tiny bit. And then on this side, even though he was already dead when this was minted, that's King George III. I thought this was a George III copper when I found it. I guess technically it is. And this I was surprised to find. This is an 1844 1 shilling British. If the cultivator hadn't hit it, it would have been in mint condition. With a very young Queen Victoria on there. Pretty good shape. You can see the edge of it there. It got just struck, but I guess it's better it got hit there than in the middle. I thought it was a quarter. When I found it, it was sitting in the ground like this. That was a big surprise that the detector picked it up. And then probably the coolest thing from the last couple of weeks is this. That, although it's very, very worn, is a 200-year-old bull's head. A George III 6 shilling. And I can't get it on the GoPro here, but the date is pretty clear down at the bottom. There's his face on there. They called it a bull's head because he had a really small head and a big thick neck, and with his curly hair he looked kind of like a bull. You can see a bit of the shield on that side. 1816, that's the oldest silver coin I found yet in these parts. That goes right back to our earliest colonial days, really, almost. So I was pretty thrilled. And the funny thing about these 4 coins here is they came from a site that I've been over countless times, meticulously. And I was over it this summer, and I didn't get any good signals. And then I just went in with the small 6-inch coil and took my time going through the cornrows. And I also reversed my directions too. The first time I went in, I found these 3 guys, and then I went back to the same spot and walked in the opposite direction, and I found that guy. So that's something you might want to try. I know there's not a lot of fields people are able to get into right now because the beans aren't off, so maybe try going back and hitting your your old spots and seeing what there is in there, because you never find it all. Thank goodness, because if there was nothing left in the fields, there'd be very little left to look forward to. Anyways, thanks for watching.